Why are you facing the same problems over and over again? Why does the same pattern repeat in our lives? Whether it is financial troubles or problems in health or relationships, we often see that we see the same things happen to us over and over again. And people say that it is our karma, it is our destiny, it is because of our past actions and so on. But still, this doesn't feel like a satisfactory answer. We wish to solve this in some way, but we do not know how. Now, if you are in this place, if you feel like your past burdens, your past tendencies, your karma is affecting your life and is putting you in an endless loop where you're experiencing the same patterns over and over again, then this video will be very, very relevant and helpful for you. By the end of this video, you will discover how to heal your past wounds, how you heal your karma through a simple method where we are not involving ourselves with someone else energetically, without any healing sessions, consultations, or any elaborate rituals. The Adhvaitha channel is about consciousness and conscious creation. Here we explore Vedanta and various other ancient teachings from India to understand the nature of reality and to consciously create our lives. Now, when it comes to karma, when it comes to healing, and when it comes to all these things, I've seen a lot of programs and lot of things being marketed across the world. I've seen karma healing being marketed, I've seen Reiki being marketed, and people are buying into these consultations and involving themselves with someone else energetically. When it comes to all of this, I have some very strong opinions, and I have seen some very senior monks talk about this. Generally, it is not suggested for us to get involved with someone else at the energy level when it comes to healing our wounds, healing our health, or healing our karma. Our karma is simply the net result of our past actions. Ultimately, it can never go away without us disidentifying ourselves and without us evolving spiritually. When we approach a karma healer or a Reiki healer or someone like this, and when they try to help us on the energy level, it is said that it might cause a lot of harm to ourselves and to the person who is healing us. Because ultimately, if both of these people are coming from the place of ego and identification, that memory that a person is trying to heal, whatever that energy is, it has to go somewhere. Energy can only be transformed, as we have understood. So, this might give us some temporary results, but it can be dangerous for us and it might not solve the root problem at all. So, what is the solution? If involving with a person and getting our wounds and getting our karma healed externally, if it is not an ideal solution, then what is the ideal solution? The ideal solution always is to work on ourselves. We can work on ourselves and heal our wounds. This is always the best thing to do. And today we will discover a simple method which will allow us to do this and understand this. Now, before we go there, let's understand karma briefly. Karma is not what most people think. It is not some kind of punishment. It is simply action and reaction, the cause and effect. Now, let's say you're a professional and you're working at a company. If you are diligent, if you're committed, if you show up on time, if you always perform well, and if you work with passion, then after a certain point in time, definitely the organization will recognize your efforts and it will reward you accordingly. You will either get a promotion or a pay raise or any form of reward for your actions. And at the same time, if you do not go to your job at the right time, if you do not work properly, if you're constantly absent, then this will be recognized and you will be fired from your job. Each of these scenarios explain to us how karma works in a simple way. Your actions gave rise to certain consequences in life. That is what karma is. But this affects us over a prolonged period of time and even for many, many lifetimes. Your past actions from past lifetimes might have its consequences on you today. Now, when we are trying to solve this, involving someone else externally cannot be the ideal solution because these are the results of our own actions and karma is not a punishment but a lesson to be learned. So that is what we must understand thoroughly and clearly. Everything that we are facing today in terms of our health, wealth, relationships, or any area of our life, any situation or any person who are troubling us are simply teachers for us, who are teaching a particular lesson that we are supposed to learn in order to evolve spiritually and in order to get closer to our ultimate goal of life. So karma is not a punishment but a consequence of our actions, and in fact it is a teacher, so that we can learn that particular lesson and transcend that situation and move ahead in life. So learning the lesson is important. If we do not learn the lessons, then healing it externally is only a temporary solution. If we heal our health, then that simply suppresses the effect and we might find the manifestation of the problem in another area of life. For example, if we get ourselves healed energetically when it comes to health, our wealth might suffer. But if we learn the lesson, however, if we ourselves work on ourselves, then we can permanently heal our wounds, heal the karma, and evolve our lives in the ideal way possible and move towards our ideal life. That is why in this channel and in our community, we only focus on conscious creation and the principles of ancient Vedanta, which simply focuses on working on ourselves at the deepest level to see results in our life. So let's be clear on these 2 points. Number 1, karma is not punishment. It is simply the consequences of our past actions. It is simply the effect for cause. And number 2, we need to begin to look at our current situations as lessons to be learned, as teachers. And we need to learn the lessons and transcend those situations and evolve in our journeys. Now with this understanding, let us get into the practice. And I will guide you through how you can use this simple method to begin to heal different situations in your life. Now, this simple method is what I call conscious healing, and this involves 3 simple steps. The first step is to create a gap between your situation and your awareness, which is you yourself. Most of us are entangled with the situation. We are completely involved with it and we are one with it. From this place of unconsciousness, it is very difficult to heal. So the first step is to create a gap. The second step is to accept the situation and begin to talk to it and to thank it for whatever lessons that it has given us. And step 3 is surrendering that situation and transcending it and moving ahead in our life. Now let's go through this practice right now. I will guide you through this practice, and to do this, just take one situation in your life. For some of you, it might be a particular health issue. It might be your anxiety. It might be your stress levels. It might be your fever or anything like this, any particular health issue. Or it can be your financial issues, or it can be a relationship issue, but it has to be one particular issue or a situation. Now, once you have recognized this and decided on which situation to heal, then let's begin with a statement. I want you to take a pen and a paper. If you can bring a notepad and a pen, it will be really helpful. Otherwise, just go through this mentally and later on you can repeat this. Now, do not try to intellectualize this. Do not try to think it over a lot. Just do what I'm saying. Now, objectify your situation and write down a statement. For example, if your name is Arjun and if your situation that you're trying to heal is anxiety, then your statement goes like this. I'm Arjun's anxiety and I'm here to teach Arjun dash. And go on writing whatever comes to your mind. Don't think a lot. Just write whatever comes to your mind. For example, I'm Arjun's anxiety and I'm here to teach Arjun that life will not go always according to your plan. You will need to learn to evolve and be okay with the external circumstances the way they are. This might be one answer. I'm just giving an example here. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down. For example, when I did this exercise, when I practiced this, I was having a small health issues where I was getting cold over and over again. And I began writing, I'm Sujin's cold And I'm here to teach Sujan to eat healthy as much as possible and to stay away from junk food and the wrong sorts of diet as much as possible. This is what came to my mind because whenever I used to eat outside, I used to get this cold and I used to get this cough. So this is the statement that I got. So similarly, you can write down your statement, and if nothing comes to your mind, then simply write, I'm here to teach Arjun to go beyond his ego and evolve in his life. So this is the ultimate lesson that every incident is trying to teach us. Every incident is trying to teach us to evolve in our life. So you can write the statement. And now after this, let's begin with the step 1, where we are creating a gap between the situation and our awareness. You need to sit quietly, and if you can close your eyes, it is better. And after you close your eyes, now think about the statement that you wrote down, which said, I am Arjun's anxiety and I am here to teach Arjun that everything in life will not go according to your plan and you need to learn to be okay with it. Now think about the situation itself and think about that anxiety or whatever your situation is, and just mentally create a gap between that and who you are. See yourself as that pure awareness and begin to create a gap between that situation and who you are. This can be a mental gap, a psychological gap at first. Now, let's move on to step 2. Here, begin to have a conversation with that situation. Begin to have a conversation with that anxiety. Speak to it genuinely from your heart. Tell it that I accept you. I accept this situation for what it is. I take full responsibility of this because every situation is self-created. I have created this consciously or unconsciously. Feel the extreme sense of gratefulness to that situation for whatever it taught you. So I accept you and I have learned your lesson. Whatever you are trying to teach, I have learned it. And you can leave me now. As you say this, feel it genuinely. This process only works when we do it with absolute involvement and when we approach this sincerely. When you say, I have learned my lesson, actually learn the lesson and internalize that lesson which that situation is trying to teach you, whatever it is. So sincerely take responsibility for that situation, accept that situation for what it is, then speak to it and tell it that I have learned my lesson. You can now move on and you can now leave me. I do not need you anymore. And gently let it go. So, with this, let's come to step 3, where we surrender the situation. Just surrender that situation to the infinite consciousness or that God or divine intelligence, whatever you wish to call that source. Just surrender this situation to that mentally and sincerely. Just let it go and feel that it is actually leaving you. And be in that feeling of gratitude and surrender it to the divine intelligence and feel that sense of relief and that sense of freedom that comes with the surrender. Now you can open your eyes. I just took you through this quickly, but we will soon make a guided practice out of it, which will become a guided meditation for you, through which you can heal your wounds and your karmic patterns. And we will make sure to share this for free through our channel. And make sure to practice this in your life when it comes to different situations and let us know the results in the comments. And next, you can check out this important free training that we had made on conscious creation and the 4 pillars of conscious creation, where you can understand how you can use the principles of Vedanta to get to your ideal life in a matter of years. And at the end, you will also get an opportunity to book a call with our team. Make sure to book the call only if you feel deeply aligned and committed to conscious creation and your ideal life, as it requires commitment to follow the process and it is not for everyone. Subscribe to Adhvaitha to wake up. Shivoham.